Hello, in this video session, we will explain the concept of if-else statement. In this program, the execution begins from this line and the variable underscore underscore name is has a value underscore underscore main underscore underscore, and we get this print on screen, and the user is asked to enter the color red or green, and the same input is captured in the variable color1. And here we have a decision making statement. If color 1 is equal to red, then the execution enters the print, else the execution enters and prints color entered by user is not red. So if the user enters the red, this condition is satisfied, and if returns a true value, and the print is printed. Now if you note the if condition, we have to specify the colon at the end of the condition, and also when we use else condition, we have to specify the colon at the end of the else condition. So this is the syntax required in Python programming. Now after that, the user is asked to enter the positive or a negative number. This program is used to check whether the user has entered a positive or a negative number. The value entered by the user is captured in a variable called as var, and if the var is greater than or equal to 0, we print user entered a positive number, else we print on screen user has entered a negative number. Now let us run this program and see the result. Now the main started and enter color red or green. So let us enter a color here. We have entered red. So the color that we enter is captured in the variable color1, and it checks against if the color1 is equal to red. So in this case we have entered red and this condition is satisfied, hence we get this output: you have entered color red. Now again, there is an input required from the user: enter a positive or a negative number. Let us enter a positive number. User entered a positive number, so the value 8 is stored in the variable var, and it checks for the condition if var is greater than or equal to 0. In this case it returned the true, and we get this print. Now let's re-execute the program and give different values. Now let's give green. Color entered by user is not red, that is, this if condition has returned a false, and hence this print will not be executed and this print will be executed. So we got the output: color entered by the user is not red. Next, it asks for the user to enter the positive or negative number. Let's enter some negative number now. Now we can see that user entered a negative number, so the value -5 is stored in var, and in this case this returned the if condition returned the false, and we can see that user entered a negative number is displayed on the screen. Hence the if else condition is similar to the previously explained if program, but the only difference is we are using a else condition. That means if the if condition is not satisfied, we can have a default else condition. So whenever the if condition has not satisfied, the code block that is present in the else is executed. Now let's next example, let us see nested if program. So in this program, we are explaining the nested if, that is with the help of elif statement. So similar to the previous program, the execution starts from this line, and the user is asked to enter the color either red or green or blue or white. So whatever the color entered by the user is captured in the variable color1, and it first checks whether the user has entered red. If it is true, then this is executed and the complete set will be discarded. Now if the color entered by the user is not red, then this check comes to here and it checks whether the color is green, and if this satisfied, this print is printed and the complete rest of the thing will be discarded. And the same way, if the user has entered neither red nor green nor blue, then the execution comes here and checks for the condition if the entered color is white, If it is satisfied, this condition is executed and it discards the rest of the statement. If user has not entered any of this, by default it goes to else condition and this statement will be printed. So as a note here, in any of the if else or if else if the nested if condition, so only one given block of code will be executed and all the rest code will be discarded. So let us run this program to see the output. So now the user has to enter any color from red or green or blue or white. Let us enter red. So you have entered red color. So whenever the user enters red, the value stored in color one is red, and it checks for this, and this the if condition is true, and this print is printed, and the complete section will be discarded. Similarly, let's run once again. Now let's say we have entered blue here. So when user enters blue, it checks this condition is failed. Next it checks this condition also it's failed. So next it checks this condition. Now this condition is true, hence it prints this print statement, and then the complete statements are discarded. Now let's say that user has entered neither of these colors. Let's say user has entered a black color. Now, if you see, it goes to the default else condition. That means it has checked for each and one of the conditions, and all these conditions have failed. As a result, the default will be the else condition, and the statement that is present in the else will be executed. Also, in the nested if, also we have to note that a colon is used, and this is the syntax in Python. Also, as an extra note, we have seen that in programming languages like C, we use this flower bracket to identify a block of the code. But in Python, this indentation is code indentation is used to identify the block of the code. For example, within this if we have given four spaces. So whenever we give four spaces and enter, these set of statements will be executed. For example, let us try to give some more statements in this. So this is only for demonstration purpose. Now let's say we rerun this program and enter red here. So if you see, whatever the code that is present within this indentation will be considered as a block of code and will be executed. So this is similar to the flower bracket that we use in C language. So we can see that all the three prints have come here. So in this video and in the previous video, we have seen the flow control. Basically, the flow control decides whether the given set of code will be executed or not based on the condition. So if the condition is true, the if condition will be satisfied will be executed. Else, the remaining action will be taken accordingly. So we have if statement, if else statement, and nested if statement. Thank you.